Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Christine with Pattercrafts, and today we are working with Collection 4 from the Scrapping for Less Flavor of the Month July 2018 card kit. We have some pattern paper here. This is Free Spirit from My Favorite Things. We have some musical note stickers, some sequins, musical note ribbon, and a stamp set from Create a Smile called Rock On. So for this first card, we're going to use some Versamark ink and we're going to do some heat embossing. So we are stamping the greeting or the sentiment from that stamp set. It says happy birthday to you, using some of the musical notes that also came with that stamp set. Put some white embossing powder on those and we're going to heat set them. So next we're taking the vintage radio and we're going to color that in. I'll leave the colors used in the description below. Doing some very simple coloring on these radios because I stamped with some archival ink instead of Memento, so it's not really Copic friendly, so it tended to smear. So we're going to add our panel to the front of our card base, which is just a white card base. It's from Recollections. It's part of my stash because in order to make 12 cards I do need to bring in some card bases from my stash. So that is card number 1. Card number 2, I absolutely love this chevron paper. I did not want to really cover it up. So we're going to add a piece of this musical note ribbon. I'm using some glue dots so that the front of the ribbon will stay right where I want it to. So go ahead and add that onto the middle of that card and use some Scotch tape to adhere the ribbon to the back. Then I'm grabbing some foam tape and then we will put that on the front of our card. So for the little radio, again, we're going to just grab a couple of different colors, nothing too fancy, and just quickly color those little radios in. Again, super simple, especially the inside of this radio. I had to be really careful to not smear that black ink too badly. Add a few little finishing touches and we are going to put this on our card with some foam tape. Now part of the foam tape was a little too thick. It didn't go over the ribbon, so I had to peel that off and then just put it back on. Perfect. So that's the front of the card. Now for the inside, we are going to stamp down the musical staff. I did have to Google that. It's been a long time since I took a music class. And we're going to add some musical notes all around it. And then we're going to grab that happy birthday to you and stamp that on that musical staff. So we will add that to the inside of our card. And that's card number 2. So card number 3, I wanted to do a shaker card, but I thought it'd be fun to stamp out these little radios and then cut out the, I think it's the speaker part, that middle part, and make those the shaker bits. So I'm stamping down 5 of them, being more careful to stamp the ones that are not going to be cut out. And we're going to add these little musical notes all over as well. So I'm starting with the bigger of the 2 and then going in and filling in with the smaller musical notes. This is some watercolor paper from my loads of stuff I have in the bag from my paper stash. So we're going to just use an X-Acto knife to cut out that center portion. It was not as hard as I thought it was going to be. It was actually pretty simple. I wasn't sure how well I'd be able to round those out, but this was really easy to pop out those little middle sections. Now I did use archival ink to stamp down these radios, and I am using watercolor paper. So I did break out my Arteza water brush pens. The more I use them, the more I really like them. But they do take a little getting used to. You have to be careful when you lay down color. You pretty much need to take the water brush right to it. The longer it sits, the harder it's going to be to move that color around. And also you'll see I'll put some on the block. So if I want to add some without making it too much darker, that's a great way to add some color to your image. And I do show some of the coloring, but I do not show all of, I did not record all of the coloring of these radios. So I will also list the colors that I used in the description below as well. So I did all the radios, and then I also added some blue to the background, which I'm not sure if you can see it too much on the video, but you can see it in person. I mean, I guess you can sort of see it. I used a really light blue. So again, for the center or the inside of this card, we are again going to stamp out the staff and add musical notes all around it again. Grab that same sentiment, happy birthday to you. Now I have lots and lots of foam tape, and I already have the acetate down in our 3 little windows. So I'm going to peel off the acetate, and then we're going to put the sequins in those little windows. Now the sequins I kind of went a little heavy-handed with, so they don't move too much, and I did have a teeny weeny problem keeping them off the foam tape. I don't know if there's an easier way to do this, but it wasn't too bad. Then we'll go ahead and put the front of that panel right on the top like that. So card number 4, again we had some more chevron paper, adding some more ribbon to the bottom of that panel. And sorry this isn't included in the video, changing the refill for my ATG gun. As I get better at editing, I'll be able to take those sorts of things out. But anyway, put our panel down. I've cut out from another piece of pattern paper using the mini Scallop circle die, this muted paper to put our radio in the middle of. Pop that up on some foam tape, and now I'm adding just a bunch of these musical stickers all around. And on the inside of the card, again, I'm going to use the happy birthday to you sentiment. We're going to add a couple of stickers. Actually, we're going to add 3 stickers to the inside. And this is where I kind of decided, you know what, I just want to use these stickers all up. So I'm just going to keep putting them all over the top half of this card. And that will do it for card number 4. So here's a look at the 4 cards over again. These made some great masculine birthday cards. I think the second one is going to be my favorite, and I think it's just because I really loved that pattern paper. So if you liked this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this and you're not already, please hit the subscribe button. But until next time, bye.